Your pelvic floor muscles are hidden deep within your body, and they are literally the bottom of your pelvis. Now, a lot of people find that they're difficult to activate and get in touch with, and having a mental image of what your pelvic floor muscles look like and how they work can really help you connect if you're working on strengthening your pelvic floor or releasing a tight pelvic floor, or getting those abdominal muscles back in shape if you have a diastasis, or after you've had a baby, or even if you've had that heavy feeling with pelvic organ prolapse. So we want to think about pelvic floor muscles in 3 different layers. Most of the time people are familiar with the outer layer and we're thinking about stopping their pee or squeezing. That is just the front of your pelvic floor muscle. So I'm going to turn my pelvis up this way, and you can see this is your pelvic floor. Now we divide it into 2 triangles. So if we think across the middle here, this is your perineum. So when you have a baby, if you have a tear or you have an episiostomy where they cut a little bit, this is where that happens. Then we have your urethra and vagina up here. Okay, down here is your anus. So your front of your pelvic floor muscles, then you can see if I cover that bottom half, then it's a nice little triangle sitting between your sits bones and the front of your pelvis. We also have that back triangle. If I cover the front, then you can see that that's going to come back to the tailbone back there. Now these are your opening and closing muscles. They have that closing function so that we don't leak pee or poo, and that is their primary function. There are 2 triangles that should be able to work independently, so you should be able to go number 2 without going number 1, or go number 1 without going number 2. So if you're not sure when you're on the toilet next time, see if you can hold the back of your pelvic floor closed and release the front, or release the back and hold the front closed. Now those very important locking muscles, okay? And we want to come inside and look into our pelvic floor in here. This is that 3rd layer, your deeper layer, your levator ani muscles. Now they are responsible for the support, and they, if you think about a little trampoline, this is the bottom of your body and it's going to act like a trampoline. So when you jump, all of that pressure and body weight and your internal organs are going to push down, and your pelvic floor is going to help push back up again so that we don't have leaking or feelings of heaviness or something falling out. Okay, so this is that 3rd layer, and this is your lifting muscles. So we want to make sure that when we're working our whole pelvic floor, we can open and close and contract and release the front of our pelvic floor. We can contract and release the back of our pelvic floor, and we can also lift and hold with the levator ani muscles, or the inside 3rd layer of our pelvic floor. Now these muscles are both fast muscles, so they've got to act quickly. If you sneeze, that's a lot of pressure quickly. Then we want to make sure that they can squeeze and hold when they're needed, but they also need to have endurance, and that means they need to work over a long period of time. So that means when you're out for a walk, you don't all of a sudden feel like, now I'm losing support, starting to feel heavy because those muscles are tired. Okay, so having a little bit of insight into your pelvic floor muscles and how they work can help you mentally connect with them when we're doing our work and rehabbing our pelvic floor and core after having a baby.